with Stan Atkinson and Jennifer Whitney.
They left the library. We just kind of ran and we're running towards the cop cars.
Students and teachers running for their lives after two young men opened fire inside a Colorado high school, killing as many as 25 people. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. This is being called one of the worst school shootings in our nation, and SWAT teams are still sweeping Columbine High School looking for more explosives.
That's right. At this hour, we still do not know just how many bodies are still inside the school. Here is what we do know at this hour tonight, though. Police say the killings seem to be well planned. Booby traps were found throughout the school. The alleged gunmen were dressed in black trench coats and fatigues. Students say they were gunning for minorities and athletes. Police have identified the gunmen as Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold. The two young men were both found dead in the school's library with self-inflicted gunshot wounds. They apparently belong to a clique of outcasts in the high school called the Trenchcoat Mafia. Drew Levinson has the latest from Littleton.
Gunshots, explosions, and fire rocked a high school just southwest of Denver, the latest shooting incident that has shocked the nation. Police say two young men wearing long black trench coats opened fire. As many as 25 people were killed, the two gunmen among the victims.
Well, it appears to be a suicide mission.
It was chaos around lunchtime at Columbine High School in Littleton, Colorado. SWAT teams circled the building looking for the attackers. 2 hours after the crisis began, frightened students were rushed from the school, many with hands in the air. Parents scrambled to the scene to find their children.
Everyone around me got shot, and I begged him for 10 minutes not to shoot me. And he just put the gun in my face and started bleeding everywhere and started laughing, saying that it was all because people were mean to him last year.
Police say the gunmen, who were juniors at the school and members of a group known as the Trenchcoat Mafia, may have been looking for revenge. They repeatedly targeted athletes and minorities in the rampage. Many students called them outcasts. At a memorial service Tuesday night, everyone was asking why.
When we got the call this morning and we came down here immediately, all things go through your mind, but it's absolutely numbing.
The bodies remain inside the school, and authorities say because of the nature of this case, it could be some time before they're removed. Drew Levinson, CBS News, Littleton, Colorado.
As you can imagine, by the way, we'll be talking live with Drew a little bit later in tonight's newscast. But as you can imagine, the students who survived today's shooting spree were extremely emotional during that ordeal and afterwards. Here are some of the students' accounts of this terrifying day.
There we go. Once they left the library, we just kind of ran and we're running towards the cop cars.
It's just really noisy outside. I hear a lot of screaming.
They were saying that that they wanted to do this for their revenge for the school, I guess, because, I mean, they're such an outcast at our school.
There was a bunch of what looked like, you know, like this black cat firecrackers or some kind of firecrackers going off underneath the tree.
Uh-huh.
And then, you know, we saw this kid, and, you know, he got shot, and he was laying on the ground, and, you know, he was just saying, ow, it hurts, it hurts.
The girl who was sitting right across from me under the table was shot in the head right there. And, I mean, it was the worst feeling that I've ever had because, I mean, blood was just going all over. And, I mean, I witnessed that, you know, and it's hard.
Have you heard any gunshots?
No gunshots, just threats. Just a bunch of threats. The guys are yelling out there.
Do you recognize the voices, James?
I don't recognize any of the voices.
And more information about the alleged gunmen tonight and the group to which they apparently belonged. Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold were juniors at Columbine High. Apparently they belonged to a clique of about 10 students who all like to wear long black coats and follow the music of shock rocker Marilyn Manson. Some students say despite their high regard for guns and Gothic-like lifestyle, this alleged mafia never broke out into any violence. But other students said the Klan was often avoided because they were strange and that jokes were often shared among classmates that they'd snap someday. And as we learn more tonight about the so-called trenchcoat mafia, we also reflect on other kids who wear similar dress. This so-called Gothic look is a popular style among teens right now, but Gothics tonight are defending their individuality. George Franco joins us from the newsroom to bring us that. George?
Jennifer, you know, in this world of labels, young people who align themselves with Gothic are speaking up and speaking out against the violence in Colorado. For them, black is a favorite color, but they say the color black has never been darker. It's a gathering of young people at a free rock concert in Citrus Heights, where individuality shouts as loud as the music. Are you Gothic?
I don't claim to be, but people say I am, so.
Josh Hall bristles when told some students in Colorado described the attackers as Gothic-like. Gothic may be dark in nature, even brooding in temperament, but Hall says it's hardly an endorsement for senseless violence.
I don't believe in violence. I don't believe in shooting or killing people. It's just, maybe they're messed up as kids or something, I don't know. It's a hard thing to say.
None of the kids we spoke to had ever heard of the trench coat mafia who wore black trench coats, at least not before news of Colorado splashed across the screens, making black an even darker color this day.
It makes it look bad for other people who wear all black. I mean, I do it because it looks nice. All black looks nice to me.
At area schools, parents picked up students with perhaps more worry, concern, and compassion. Mary Padilla says Colorado is in her prayers.
I pray every morning to make sure my children are safe, and I'll say a prayer for them too. I hope everybody does too.
They'd have to have problems in the head, you know, I mean, you're not going to go and kill 25 people just for someone picking on you.
Where the music played, the parents also arrived, with comparisons of kids and the way of the world right now.
You just got to decide whether you want to see kids in a bad light and look at a few and stereotype them all, or look at all the good kids out there and see the good in them. And that's what they are.
Many of the kids wondered why this day of all days. That, of course, is unclear, but the internet chat lines were jammed with messages. One America Online warning seemed ominous. It was from someone professing to be a member of the Trenchcoat Mafia who stated, quote, preparing for the big April 20th. You'll all be sorry that day, end quote. But experts say that message and others on the internet were apparently fake, surfacing after that bloody incident in Colorado. Back to you.
Well, no humor in that whatsoever. And while the majority of the kids may be good, it's the ones that do these disturbing, horrible crimes.